I'm going to start another project, and 2017 has been kind of a lazy year. I built an oil tank and that stump shear thing I built. Not as aggressive as I used to be, but I've been wanting another project, like a mower for my excavator, and the one I built for my loader turned out well enough that give it a go at an excavator model. So did some sketches in the living room in the evenings, and got some rough ideas. Looked around online. There's not that many I really found, and I don't really care to copy other people's stuff. I don't know if I have more integrity or that's just not enough of a challenge. So got some cardboard, started drawing. This is the beginnings of the mower, and I was going to cut out the framing, but for one, if I don't tape these up, there's going to be a 1/4 inch holding this piece on, and some of those, so I'm just going to leave it. Plus I have the blade tip laid out, and kind of gives me a rough idea too, if I need to measure, give a rough idea to know where my ends are here. And I was going to use the original, that's the gearbox I found in the salvage yard. Salvage mower that started the first build. Since you can't know, that one's tight, and I put new seals in it, but since you can no longer buy the side mount, to my understanding, I think I would be a fool to save $200, $300, and do all this labor, and if it wouldn't withstand, or it broke, or the housing cracked, I would have to redo the whole mount. So that's kind of throwing away labor, so I'll have to save that for a future project. I kind of did the same design as the front of my mower that I did, and one of the designs online. When this started, I was just going to do the left side of the mower open, and that don't really make sense, because if you're swinging left to right, 50% of your time would be you would not be in production. You're just wasted time. So I kind of cut back like that and came across. But I was also wanting the opposite side of the excavator, and this side matches that side, of course. I was also wanting the opposite side of the machine to have a little cutting ability if need be. So I cut this back. The blade tip is right here, and I just wanted a little notch there, so if I came up along, 3-inch pine tree or whatever, you can nip it off. And I kind of fault the design here, because if you went straight across, you can always tip it back like on my loader and come in down. But I guess I'm going to go with this design. And since there's a small strip of steel out here, I think I'm just going to overlay this with 4x4 by 1/4 tubing to keep some strength out here. I'm going to do a 5-inch leg on each corner. So just when you park the machine, or I don't know, it seems like you'd have less abuse on the gearbox shaft, but as abusive as this is, probably wouldn't hurt to just park the boom on the gearbox. But I don't know, just my thoughts anyways. So I'm going to take 5-inch skid down on both sides. I might do a pipe this way, so if you did skid this way maybe, and put, like on my other one, taper it up on both sides. Compared to my loader, I had to come in and reframe some of this. So I laid this one out to where all this framing goes within a 1/2 inch of the gearbox mount, so I don't have to do any additional work there. I am gonna do the double. I'm gonna do quarter plate deck, and right here around the gearbox, I'm gonna do like the other one. I'm gonna, when I get done with the base, I'm gonna flip it over and put some more quarter plate on this little square for more strength in the gearbox. And I'm gonna do some kind of rail, tree push rail, but that's a little kind of the cart before the horse. I think I'll go ahead and get this done and go from there. And I'm thinking maybe, possibly, do something out here like some of the attachments are doing now to come off and make it match with the thumb, possibly. Haven't got that far either. Originally I got 2 3-foot buckets. Originally I was gonna come in here and hack out like 8 inches, because this is the worst of the 2 3-foot buckets I have. I was gonna hack out like 8 inches to like here and down, so the teeth I still have, and it would still match the thumb. And I'd put a vertical piece there at the end of the mower and just mount the motor up inside there and do the gearbox like right here and come off of it. But I guess I wanted to do that because I don't use it, and I wouldn't have to do bushings, and that whole setup, kind of lazy. But I'm having a hard time, even though it's a little damaged on the bottom, it's still 3-foot bucket, that there's nothing wrong with it. And so I think I've scrapped the idea of cutting the bottom out of that and integrating a mower off the bottom and back of it. So just created myself some more work. But anywho,